Hi everybody, this is Dom and welcome to Raising the Barber. In today's podcast we have Enzo Mirto. Enzo is the co-owner of Officina 00. I wanted to have Enzo on my podcast because I believe his experience is going to help people to decide how to start a career in the restaurant, in hospitality especially. For him it's been a long journey. After 20 years of experience, he finally decided to open his own restaurant with a friend, and he's going to tell us all about his stories. I'm very happy having Enzo here because we share together the same culture about food and about love for our country. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Stick with us and let's go.
Yo, listen to this, it's Raisingthebarber. Hot dip, so chop, no ribbon.
How are you doing?
Very good, Dom. Thank you.
Oh, great. Have you worked today?
Yeah, just a couple of meetings. My work is sleeping, but a couple of meetings and very boring meetings.
Really?
But here I am for some funny haircut.
Yeah. So we're gonna go for a skin fade, high skin fade.
Yeah, not too high.
Not too high. You want to keep it here?
Yeah. Pretty much raised. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I'll ball line it at the bottom, and then we're going to just shape up everything.
Brilliant.
That's great. So tell me a bit about you. How did you get to London?
Well, how do I get to London? That's a funny one because I came here on holiday.
Yeah.
When I was 18. And so basically I finished my scuole superiori. I studied as a geometer. I wanted to be an architect. Listen to this. But my father, he promised me a super bike if I finish my college.
All right.
But when I finished my college, he cheated. He says, I'm going to kill you if I buy a super bike. So ask me anything else. I was like, you know what? I want to go in London 3 months then. So I bought me an open ticket, 3 months to come into London. And I came here. I had an amazing time. So I got back into Italy and I started uni. Literally after 1 month I left. I said to my dad and mom, I was like, you know what, I'm going back to London. That's what I want to do. That's it. So, and then I came back here was 2001. My dad is still saying I should have bought you a super bike because
He kind of missed the most of it.
Yeah, I mean, I missed you anyway.
So true.
And this is how I came here. So yeah.
How was the beginning of it? How was coming into London in 2000s?
It was amazing because financially it was great because in Italy it was still the Italian lira, and I was making not much. The minimum wage at that time was about £4.85 per hour. I still was making £800 a month. So my room was about 60 or 70 quid. It was different kind of time, It was like the bus was like 20, 30p. The underground was like 80, 90p. Weekly travel card was about £9-10.
Beautiful.
It was different kind. So I was making those £800 a month. And then going back into it was a 2.5 million lira. I was like, wow, I was rich. It didn't last long. After 1 year, they
How did it go then? After a year, Euro, right?
After it was Euro. How did it go financially? Crap. But, it's that time, when you're 20, 21, 22, you don't really think about the money, You think about the fun, the experience that you make, and I was just in the right place. I made a lot of memories, great memories. I met a lot of people, and I'm still having great memories and meeting a lot of people,
Have you managed to keep most of your friends back in Italy?
Yeah. I think many of my friends, they moved from Italy to here as well. I still have a lot of friends that we were friends since I was in Italy. I'm good to maintain the relationship that I want. I'm really good on that. So it need to be some effort to keep the relationship, even in London, especially in London, because London is such a big city. But yeah, I kept a lot of friends. A lot of things have changed, but life changed a lot because Italy is different kind of lifestyle and stuff.
Is it?
Your mentality changed, your perception of life change. There is a lot of things living by yourself in a different country, different culture. So you grow up a lot, and eventually there is no other way of adapting to yourself in this context, which makes you change a bit.
That's definitely one of the things I realized when I moved here. It was the difficulty to when coming back to Naples, like to find people on the same stage. And my point of view
is
completely
exactly. And you see, after 5-10 years, you go in there, they're still doing the same thing at the same time, the same moment, in the same way, isn't it?
It looks like a stereotype. It's so true. It's not.
It's like, wow, thank God I made out of it, because it's like, wow, what they've done in those 20 years. I can tell them so many things that I've done and I've learned, the language that you speak and the food that you tried and the place that you traveled. Those guys know, they have not even a fraction of your experience to tell.
So true. And they always look down on you, no matter what. Then it looks like you're the one who you left them alone, and you're just the lucky one moving abroad.
Exactly.
But they don't really know.
They don't really
you
know.
can tell me probably what was a good time, right? But have you had any down moments?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of experience, because I'm also I'm still am, but I was trusting everyone. I was that kind of living the hype, and this is good guy. So I remember once I went back to Italy for holiday and I played in calcetto, football. I broke my foot and I had to stay there for 2-3 months. So my dad, of course, didn't want to give me money to go back to pay my bills here, because I had the room and stuff. So financially, I was literally broke, because, you live in London, you're always broke. So I had to ask, because it was like the first year I was here, and in Italy, I had some credit score somehow. So I managed to get 3,000 euro from a bank to repay back. And then I'm sending this money to pay my rent and bills to this French guy. Guess what? When I come back to London, I knock the door. Somebody else opened the flat. I was like, oh, you must be that guy. So your stuff is in there. So these guys, they left the house. They was taking my money. And then, thank God, they left all my stuff in one little storage. So, but I was all of a sudden without a house, without anything.
Because back then, probably cash in hand,
it was
kind of thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it was a lot of cash in hand, and not all these reference that you need now. And so there is good time, but there is not a lot, but there is also downtime, when that makes you grow up, it makes you change slightly. But I always say to myself, I don't need to get that anger, because, not every people are the same. I don't need to be a bad guy because, someone let me down. So you need to really be smart on that. Otherwise, this city can turn you into a devil, to get out the worst of you.
So true. You got to be like a better version of you.
Exactly.
Always.
Yeah. So
it's something that I was thinking about, because, you're from the same area as I.
Yeah.
And we know how it is growing up in Naples. We're growing up in the south of Italy in general. I don't want to bring back the stereotype of people living in the south of Italy, but probably when you move here, you feel like powerful. You feel like, wow, there's a lot of stuff to do, man.
You have superpower.
Really sport me upside down, you can do something.
Yeah.
What was your power? What was driving you through the years in London? Knowing things and so, knowledge, getting, in London, you have so many things, as you say, to do. And to me, I was like a sponge. I wanted to learn as much as I could. I learned two other languages. I teach myself actually how to eat a different kind of food, because as an Italian, when you come in here first time, what you do, you just eat Italian food, because that's what we do in Italy. We go on holiday, we eat a pizza, pasta, bread. It's true, isn't it? So yeah, I've learned, and then, I discovered that, traveling for me was, I was working to make money on the side and travel. I've traveled to South America, I've traveled to South Asia, I've traveled all across Europe. I've been traveling and discovering new things. And that was what made me
going on and on and on and more be in love with this city because, you all travel to discover new things. But in the meantime, those things are in this city because it's so much multicultural and stuff.
So what was your first job, like proper job that made you travel?
Oh, a proper job. I think a proper job. I work in hospitality, as you know. So I came here and I start to be you look at it. I always loved the party scene in Naples, in London. So in here I got so into party scene, and then I start to work at fabric to collect glasses from tables and wash glasses to get a bottle of vodka and gin when the bartender asked me to do because I didn't know how to speak English. So I spent 3 months at fabric. It was amazing, but this is how I start my journey. What I'm doing now, it's just, if I look back, it's like, wow. My proper job in hospitality was a Soho House.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I worked at Soho House when Soho House was really exclusive members club, minimum wage was about £5-6. I used to make £13 an hour. So, but they made you work for it. So long hours, very strict, they had their own rules. Super high demand, and literally for 5, 6, 7 years, I have just worked my butt off, but I've learned a lot. So, but yeah, my first job was then allow me to save money to travel was so hard, answering your question, and I was a bartender there. In Old Compton Street, very exclusive. At that moment, it was only Soho House London, Soho House New York. And there was an electric house. They opened it after 1 year. I used to work with them. Now it's just an identity. It's such a big company. But at that time, it was only 2 clubs.
Only 2 clubs. So you were traveling in between as well?
I was only in Old Compton. And but the last, then I became a manager, like a floor manager, which I dropped my salary from £30 an hour to 20K per year. So it's like no tips, nothing, and working like up to 5 a.m. because, floor manager, you need to lock the club out and stuff. It was an insane drop, which I was keen to do it because I wanted to get out. I was so in my comfort zone in terms financially and, in the company as well after a long time. And I was reaching about 25, 26. I was like, what I have to do with my, I need to think what to do. But I still want to work with them. I started to be a floor manager and I started to understand the floor more a little bit. I went from the drink side to the food side. And the last couple of years, listen to this, they used to send me around the world. So at that time at New York, they used to throw like party in Hollywood for Hollywood Film Festival. So it was like a marketing operation. Then, they used to rent a villa and different kind of sponsors used to pay for this villa. And for us to travel over there, used to pay. Very smart way to do business because, Nick Jones is very smart guy. At that time, he used to own the company fully. So I've been in Los Angeles a couple of years working in a villa, private villa. I served like drinks. I saw Madonna. I saw like crazy. Yeah. Beyonce, Robert De Niro, they were all in front in this living room in this massive villa, and we were making drinks and having fun. So I did 1 month, 2-3 weeks in LA. And then I was coming back. I was going to Cannes Film Festival to do exactly the same by the Castle called Napoli Castle. Then I did the Edinburgh Film Festival, and then I did Miami photography kind of fair.
Galleries,
so yeah. So because and now they have places in Miami, they have places in LA. So after many years, I discovered that these guys, they were throwing party for free to attract all these members. And then after 2-3 years, they opened a house in there. So that was literally just a marketing kind of thing.
Great marketing idea.
Exactly. So this is all, those experience, it's just it's not all the fun part because it's really hard work you're doing there. Of course, there is the fun side of it, which I cannot share. Many things, but there is a lot of fun, but a lot of hard work, a lot of up
Why you
and
can't
down
share it,
emotion.
man?
Nah.
We're here for this. We're here for this. No, I'm joking.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I can imagine.
It's a lot of fun.
There's a lot of imagination behind it. That's for sure.
It's a lot of fun. Then, but I gained so much experience, so many ideas, and so I think then, but at some point I was like, I want to do something a little bit more classy in terms of, I need to learn about the service. And I went to work, I moved to Milan. At that time, at some point, from so hours, I met a girl, and I was like, I'm going to Milan, I love this girl. Listen, 3 months we split up. I'm in Milan by myself, and I found a job at the Principe di Savoia, which is part of the Dorchester collection.
Yes.
As a bar manager. And I stayed in Milan for 3.5 years because, I was working in the top hotel in the world. So and there I learned the service, the kind of, you learn the luxury, Soho House was luxury, but more like casual luxury. So this was like a luxury, one room of £15,000 a night, this kind of thing. You have I met David Beckham, who used to play AC Milan. He lived in our hotel for 3 or 4 months because he didn't have a house. Mourinho, when he was coaching Inter Milan, he lived in the hotel for 3 or 4 months. So I was serving all these people on a daily basis. And it's it was another great experience to add to my CV.
How was the swap? You say you were working in a big luxurious hotel, but you were back in Italy.
Yeah. Well, that was a little bit. To be honest, I thought it was going to be worse. But when you work in this luxury, and then the company was owned by an English company, the Dorchester is English, so I didn't feel that kind of at work the big change. Even though in Italy there's more union involved. You need to be careful what you do, how you talk with your staff, and in London it's very easy. Not now, but at that time it was very easy to tell someone, what, it's not working out, see you later, bye. In Italy you can't do that. So there is no 1 month or 2 months or 3 months time you can do this, no provision, they work for you, they own you. So I learned that kind of, in fact, I learned the HR aspect of it. So how to deal with the members, with team members, basically. I learned a lot of, basically every single experience I've done, I tried to take something at home. And this is why I'm telling you, I was learning here and that, because I always take something at home from my experience. But the swap from London to Milan, answering to your question, work-wise was not too bad. But, on the street and with the authorities, government and taxes, and even if you need to apply for an ID card, it was so long process compared to it. And at some point, in fact, after 3 years, first I went to work from Dorchester to a 1 Michelin star because I wanted to do a restaurant. So I worked at Tossar della Scala for about 9 months with 2 Michelin star. And as a director of the Sala, direttore di Sala.
Wow.
And guess what after? I was like, I'm bored of this. Sorry my language, but sorry. I went to Ibiza, I was like, man, I'm bored of this Italy stuff. So I was like, I need something. I had an opportunity to work in Ibiza. I went to Ibiza working at Blue Marlin.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and I did a couple of seasons in there.
So from like top level thing, it's like, okay, let's go up. No, let's go to
Ibiza.
Yeah, I need to feel relaxed.
Yeah, but Blue Marlin was really exclusive beach club at that time, but nothing to do, no step of service, no standards, only a lot of money. I remember on a bar on a Sunday there was a Blue Marlin party. And I used to do the bar and the privé, the only table behind the console. I used to run that bar. It was like Russian people. I see bills of 15,000, 20,000 euro every single Sunday. One guy, one table, 6, 7, 8 people, 20, 30,000, tips of 1,000 to 2,000 pounds. It was insane crazy money. I didn't even see the in the hotel was so housing, not even compare a fraction of it. It was like a big money. Then you start to question yourself, where all this money are coming from? You look around you, it's like, you know, they know looking nice, these people. You know? So different things. Then I met my wife, which is my actual wife now. And one winter she said, why don't you come back to London and try what happened, you know? And here I am, so I'm still here since. But a long way from that.
I mean, I can imagine. And now you finally something that belongs to you, that you, in a way, created from zero, did you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, come back here, it was a... I come back here because, you know, I also had, I broke my knee in Ibiza running. Not broke it, but I had a really bad tendinitis, so I couldn't work for a long time. And I didn't have a lot of money, so I had to come back in London also for financial situation. Because in Ibiza, you know, you have a great lifestyle, but if you work in Ibiza, your money comes from Ibiza. Literally, you know, you're always broke because, you know, you work 6-7 months, you mostly, especially at that time, I was 27, 28, you just spend all the money. And then, you know, in the winter, if you have a paro, which is the benefits of the island, you can survive. But, you know, I didn't work all summer, I didn't have anything, so I had to come back here. And I started from I went back like a long way. So with all respect, because, you know, I think every single job, every single company give me something, you know, it's a job. But I went from luxury here and there to work with a friend of mine at Rosso Pomodoro for a pizzeria, you know, for a little while. And then, you know, I said, okay, I can't do this anymore. So I went to W Hotel. I was like, oh, I need to go back in a luxury, but I want some luxury fun. And I picked a W Hotel. Listen, I've been always lucky because every single application I've made in every company I went to work, they just get me a boat. You know, I don't know how, because
probably because of your big experience.
I don't know. I think there is always a kind of you know, your personality needs to be as a big impact on the interview. You know, you can have as many experiences as you can, you know, the best, but if your personality doesn't match with the job description, with the company core values, I don't think, you know, they're going to give you that job. So maybe I was clever to learn the core value of the company, going there and act like one, you know? I don't know. But yeah, I worked in a place called Spice Market, which was an Asian restaurant owned by John George, which is a 3 Michelin star chef. He has a lot of Michelin star chef, but this was a casual restaurant. I think it's one of the best places I've ever worked in terms of food and drinks and concept. You know, really, really fun. The food was amazing. Southeastern Asia, amazing cocktailist. And I was a beverage manager to start, and I worked in there for 4 years. I finished to be a general manager of the restaurant after 4 years, which if I'm not boring you, I'll tell you what I did next though.
Oh, okay.
And then, you know, I moved from there to Sanderson Hotel to do an opening for Japanese restaurant for 1 year. Didn't happen, so I just gave it up. And then I went to work at Roca for about 2 years. After 2 years of Roca, I went to work at an Intercontinental Hotel. And I'm not that old though, you know.
I think you're like 35.
Oh no, I'm 45 in July.
Really?
Yeah, but you know, if you sum up all these, I'm talking about 20 years of work in about 7-8 jobs. So I kept my jobs long time. And I think this is also one of the key of you learning something. You know, there is a lot of young people now, especially because I do this now. I'm my own place, and you know, we're going to go to this. They come in there, and then after 3, 4, 5, 6 months, they want everything to be taught, and you know, they have no patience. So I'm not learning anything. You go. I was like, dude, honestly, it takes me years and years and years of wild work to learn a little bit, and you want everything to be told you in 6 months. So I think the secrets of success is also to have the patience to stick with one. When you find a good company to work with, or a good guy to work with, or, you know, has some kind of great core values which you reflect into it, to stick with it, and eventually you will learn something, you know. And this is what I've done. But yeah, in Intercontinental, I was running a restaurant, Mexican restaurant, jump from one to another. with the Marta Ortiz. She was very famous, Mexican chef. And I worked in there for 1 year.
Also, that it just came up on this because now we're going to be rolling until obviously we finally talk about your business. How many cuisines have you changed? How many type of food and, like cultures have you met through the restaurant?
I think, my experience has long years in a bar. So bar, when you work in a bar, the food is always like, depends where you work. But it's mainly finger food, bar food, and pretty much the same. So I was not more like a food person in terms when the places I was, to begin with, exactly. But when I started to do, I mainly worked in the Japanese, so Asian cuisine for about 7-8 years. So I have a great knowledge of Japanese cuisine, Japanese ingredients. In fact, our restaurant has some kind of Japanese kind of touch, and we're going to go back to it later. But I think the Japanese, Mexican ones, which I loved it. There is a lot of drink involved, so the bar culture in Mexico is quite big. There is a lot of drinks involved into a Mexican restaurant. I think those two, but mainly Japanese. I never worked in Italian restaurant. A part of the experience was of Pomodoro Pizzeria, but I was just helping my friends to open a couple of restaurants. But no, I never worked in Italian restaurant. But now I own 2 Italian restaurants. Funny.
So you just, Rosso Pomodoro has lost, like how long did it last?
It was about here, about here. But that was just for me to get on my feet into London. And I was working with one of my best friends, which is now the CEO of the company. So he runs all the companies. So yes, we had a very open relationship in regards. So, I'm doing this for a while and then I'm moving on because he knew it was not my kind of path. That was the only one. But it was more pizzeria, pizza, Neapolitan pizza.
Yeah.
Me as a Neapolitan, I'm not even a big fan of the pizza, to be honest. Actually, I prefer New York pizza to Neapolitan pizza. Don't tell me anything about it. But
my God.
I'm a very unusual guy. Yeah.
Your ancestors are just rolling into your tongue. Oh my God! Fair enough. I agree with you. Fine. I don't want you to. But I can imagine. Honestly, probably after you try many type of food, you stick with one. For me, Persian food is one of the best. I love Persian food.
I love it. My wife is Persian.
Really?
Yeah.
No, wait, no, I swear.
You didn't know that?
No,
really?
No.
My wife is Persian.
I love Persian food.
I love Persian food.
I just stick with it, man. I know many places. Probably you know better than me now, so we can talk about it later.
Yeah.
So good. So you see, it's what London shapes you. This city, I think, that helps a lot too. And you can tell, you moved when you were 18. Now you're 45 almost, you said. So it's a big change. Probably you spend more time outside of Naples, your place. And have you ever thought coming back? Literally say, oh man, I'm done.
Literally, it happens sometimes and you have these kind of thoughts. I'm sure you had this too. But in my mind, it doesn't come in my mind anymore because, my life is there. By the first 10 to 15 years. And in fact, I tried to go back into Italy, Milan, to see if I was ready to at some point to go back in Italy. But yes, I had a couple of thoughts, but they were stopped after a couple of days, It's, just going on holiday 3 days. Even it's funny because I'm lasting in Naples less and less each time I go in there. So before I had like how do you say I couldn't resist 2 weeks, and then the more years you spend in here, and then it goes back to 1 week, 10 days. So now I have 3 days of kind of, I can stay 3 days and then I have to leave, because it's so different, the way of living, so different, the approach of life. And on the day-to-day life, then you, after 3 days, you just realize, like, oh my God, where I am. And I don't want to sound like a bit, but it's the reality of it,
Ironically, when you speak to other people, then you defend your country, your place.
Exactly.
So you say, no, Napoli is the best place ever.
It's true. It's true. But deep inside, because I think, we have especially as a Neapolitan, we are so attached to our culture, it's something, I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I mean, right? So we really proud of being Neapolitan, not even in Italians, we are Neapolitans. Definitely. But aside, we also know all the complication to be a Neapolitan and live in Naples. So
yeah, I agree with you. Is something that I moved here like 5 years ago, not long ago, but still I really wanted to come and just change my life. So from Naples to London is a big change already, but still you find that, I mean, honestly, I've seen that Napoli is becoming definitely the better version of what I've left.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Because more tourism, more attractions, people have, you can imagine, I speak to many clients, and probably 8 out of 10 are going to Naples for the first time, which is a big number.
Yeah.
So you see that probably, there's a bit of hope, but would you see yourself coming back? I wouldn't say so.
No, maybe retiring in Naples would be good, but depends where, It's,
that dream is always.
I start from little things. I go out with my daughter in Averso, where my mom lives now, and I'll go out with the pram. We do this road like this, and the basole on the floor. You can't literally run a pram, And I've started to think, I was like, a personal wheelchair in here, what they're going to do. You know how many we have in there? We have hundreds, maybe thousands. You don't see them around because they cannot go out, because the barrier, they are so behind. I mean, they can't have a normal life. And that makes me so sad and upset. And this is one of the reasons why I would have never, because, let's say I'm going to go back in Naples and something happened to me. I'm dead. Literally, I'm dead, because if the government, whoever it is, doesn't give you the chance to live a normal life if you have a disability, because a disabled person, let's be honest, in our city, has not really a great life. Buses, they don't take you on. Tube. I mean, you like in Aversa, we have a station with a lift, but how many stations with a lift do you have in Naples, especially the old ones? The street itself, they're all broken, and there is no, as I said, I cannot run a pram with the daughter in it. I cannot believe it. People with disability, I can do this. So there is a lot of things that you have to deal on a day-to-day basis, that when you have a taste in London, that you pretty much do whatever you want in any stage and any time, anywhere. So it's very difficult to go back.
Yeah, you say like when you have, obviously, probably you're thinking about this now because you now have family, you all have something to care about. So I can imagine if you want to just picture yourself with your young daughter, your wife, and I don't think it's doable coming back to Naples.
No.
Is it?
No. But for many things, yes, I think, this country is so far ahead. Then if you want to do for yourself, you say, I'm going to take the responsibility of going back. I'm by myself, that's fine. But when you have a family, you're responsible for these guys, Bringing back them is going to be, for me, like, I know what my daughter can have here in terms of education, in terms of everything, and what she can have there. Why I have to do that? Then, there is affectional part of it. So your family grew up without seeing the granddaughter. Your family is getting older. You want to spend maybe the last of their years together. So this is always conflict of emotion that you have inside you.
Yeah, you have an inner conflict.
Yeah.
Because of that.
But at the end of the day, when you make this decision, you do need to be a little bit selfish and to think for yourself and for your family. And this is now how going back to your question, I don't think about going back anymore because I think a little bit more selfish, you know.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. I understand. I see it. Have you got any other people that, you know, any friends of yours that now want to come to London? Want to move to London?
I think, you know, no, my age, I have more my sister. I have a little sister. She's 28, 29. They friends, they won't come to my friends, you know, 40, 45, you know, it's a little bit too late to come to London. They are in that kind of state of mind. Listen, I mean, in Naples, if you can cope with it, if you never left, it's actually, if you find your dimension, it's not bad life. But when you've seen this, that it's when the problems start, you know?
True.
But I have a friends in there, they're super happy. They're happy, but they don't know what they're missing out.
That's the thing. Probably I feel they're luckier than us because they didn't look, you know,
further.
Outside. Yeah, they didn't look further. Yeah.
So which is it's sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
That may be good.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be bad. What was it? Gattuso, wasn't it?
Yeah, Gattuso. Oh my God, Mamma Mia! It's so now that you in 2024 you're in London, you're based in London, you have your life in London. When did you make that proper change?
Like I'm gonna stay here.
No, like I have something I need to care about now.
I think it was 2019. 2019, this is where everything started. So basically, I had a phone call from a guy called Steven. He's operation director for Noble worldwide. He's actually the niece of Mr. Noble. Know me from Roca. And he called me. I was like, you know, we opened a Noble Ibiza. What, do you want to go down there? We need someone. I need someone who I know. I was like, you know what, yeah. So I went to Ibiza and I met the general manager of the hotel, you know, 2-3 interview, HR, blah, blah, blah. I got the job, very good job, you know. Pizza, 55 plus bonus, plus the house paid. And, you know, I was about to sign, but the guy was like, you know, but in the winter, I'm going back to London. Because, you know, and I was like, no, you're going to Marbella. I was like, no, I'm not going to Marbella. I'm going to Noble. No, I was like, listen, you know, we are franchise. So we have another hotel in Marbella, no, which is open in winter. And you can go there. And then all this conflict inside me coming into, you know, what is my wife now? That was my fiancé at the moment. You know, we had planned to do family and blah, blah, blah. So for one summer, being apart was okay. But, you know, being Marbella in the winter, I don't know, you know, I didn't feel, she was okay to travel with me, but I didn't feel, she had the career as well. I didn't want to mess her career up. So I had this kind of thoughts 2, 3, 4 days, come back to London. And, you know, this guy was like, you need to give me an answer. And I say, no, I'm not doing this. You need to take me back to London or nada. He says, no, sorry, but we can't do it. So I turned this one down and inside me, I was so upset. I think, you know, I turned their hunger into, I had to do something. And at that time, I was living with my business partner now. Actually, we were friends from Naples. He's from Materday. Elia, very amazing chef. We always thought, you know, we need to open something. And it was like 6 months he was pushing me because he was really fed up of his job as well. And then I came back, you know, I turned down this job, which for me was an opportunity of moving out to London. When we were saying before, you ever thought to go back? You know, my thought was always going back to Ibiza at some point, which still has a lot of influence on my everyday thoughts, you know. So, yeah, I was so upset and I turned, I believe, that hunger into, I'm going to make it happen now. So, yeah, we wanted to open also an Asian restaurant because, I had the Asian experience, my business partner and an Asian experience, Japanese as well. So we wanted to do some Japanese restaurant. And, but the idea one day comes to me and he was like, I need to take you to a place. And then he took me to a place. They doing pasta, I'm not doing the name, but because I'm not going to say nice things about it, but it was quite central London, there was the wave of pasta at that time. Everyone was opening a pasta restaurant and we tried 3 or 4 of those guys, super busy, easy concept. Pasta was crap. Seriously, it was like, for any time, I was full of tourists. It was like, wow, these guys, but the concept was there, it was great. And we just say, you know what, let's do a pasta restaurant. A lot of the time it's like, let's do a pasta restaurant. We start to put ideas down, menus down, business plan, going to the bank. Of course, the bank turns you down. A lot of things, when you start to do a business, you need to realize you can speak with many people. There's a lot of things just going against you. Then, if you saw a lot of things going against you, especially when you don't have the money for it.
Obviously.
People turn you down, people don't believe in you, but we managed to put these ideas together and we managed to have an investor that wants to put the 50% down. And this is how we start, so we start to look for a place and, I was after, it took like 3 or 4 months to find a place, but how we found the place was funny because we were going to see a place in Hall Street where we have the first restaurant, and I broke down my Vespa in the city. I finished the petrol, classic as Italian, you always run out. And then, we had appointment at 6, so it was at 10 to 6. We were still in the city. We started to run from Moorgate to Hall Street, and I passed by the restaurant I own now. There was this massive window, small, cozy, with the phone number after it. And, we went, I stopped. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And, Elia was like, no, we have to go. So we went to the other place. My mind stuck into this place. Going back, get the number, call this guy. This guy says, who you are, who are you? I was like, I'm going to send you my CV. I'll tell you who I am. And then once again, that turns, I think he's a bit of my charm, I don't know. So I turned that guy into trust me. And eventually we're still working together, he's my agent. He found my second restaurant. He's going to look for my third restaurant. So,
wow.
But the guy believed it because he's that type of guy, the same kind of mentality that I do. You see the skills of someone and the way they talk or the way they do stuff. And I think he saw something. And they give me trust. And then we went to a building when there is a CNN underneath. There is the CNN 24 Hours London. It's literally under my restaurant. So it's a big corporate building. I would have never thought they were going to give it to us, because I thought they only give it to big companies. But these guys, I met the owner, the director of this company with my agent. We went on well, and then we opened our first restaurant. Very little budget. We built up every single thing. Tables. I was working as a builder from 7, 8 a.m. in the morning to 12 a.m. at night because, we literally opened our first restaurant with peanuts. We didn't have money. Then slowly, when we start to make money, we made it the restaurant is now. We buy this in here, we adjust this. So we do, and what we do, Officina, it's, pasta. Mainly, we touch every single region of Italy when we're shaping the pasta, but when it comes to recipes, we add our touch into it. So we basically maintain the Italian identity. So you come, you say, this is Italian, but we twist some ingredients to make a little bit more fun for us. Otherwise, it's very boring. We don't do bolognese, carbonara. We don't do this kind of thing. So we do our carbonara is with the truffle, we use a miso butter instead of the butter, so you don't need to have the consistency. But if you think it's a clever way to cook, because if you use miso butter, if you have 50 grams of miso butter, basically, or you use 15 grams of normal butter, the miso butter is already salted. The other butter, you need to add the salt. So if I cook or you cook, you may like more salty, I like less salty, so there is no consistency there. In fact, if you come into our restaurant, we have the consistency on food quite not 100% because that would be a little bit more, a little bit.
Boring as well?
No. Saying that, I'm like, come on, I'm perfect. No, you can't be perfect in the kitchen.
Consistency means like
consistency you have in the quality, in what you offer, in the taste.
Okay, I understand.
So yes, we use we do the pesto not with the basil but with the pistachio yuzu-kosho. Yuzu-kosho is another citrusy kind of Japanese paste that we use instead of the lemon to balance out the dishes. So there is all this kind of little touch which don't alterate the authenticity of the Italian, but give you balance to the plates. So that's what we do, and we perfect to the point that now, we have a good machine. In the beginning, we had a lot of changes, a lot of effort. I was the only manager. My business partner was the only chef. So we were doing Monday to Saturday double and Sunday off. So basically, we used to live together, going back home, and how to get out of the business was like playing PlayStation. Because you work all day, going home, what you have to do, you do a couple of bomboloni.
You're useless at the end of the day.
No,
you just want to...
go home, couple of bomboloni, and play PlayStation 4, going back to work. That was for 6 months. And then what happened is COVID came in. We opened and we had an amazing, the restaurant was packed. I remember it was like a queue outside. And then I was traveling in Vietnam at that stage. And I hit COVID. I went to COVID, and then I went to China to stop over in January, and I see all these guys dressed in white looking at me like, So I didn't know anything about COVID. So long story short, I came back from Vietnam wearing masks and stuff. I was like, oh yes, I'm at home. And then after 6 weeks, my restaurant was shut down. Oh my God! It was terrible. So we went
after that.
we had to invent it ourselves, but the pasta, it's not a takeaway that people go for, Takeaway is more like a junky food, like a burger, pizza,
True.
Chinese, this kind of thing. I'm not saying Chinese, heavy kind of stuff, So pasta is never seen like a delivery. We're working very little. So, we had to go down to the bank again, ask for another 50 grand. I saw kind of my dream messing up a bit, I didn't know at that stage what was going to happen. We have invested a couple of 100,000 in this business, plus another 50 come over. But what we start to do pasta masterclass online. So every Tuesday, Thursday, I was with the phone filming Elia, because at our restaurant, they have a lab. So you have literally proper lab. You've been into our Austrian ones, right? So, yes, in there, I was making those videos. Elia was doing this pasta masterclass half an hour a day. So they were very popular, 300, 400, 500 viewers, which for new restaurants. And once was also Sadiq Khan on it, the mayor of London. It was funny.
The mayor
of London was looking at it. So I think, we went through COVID, we reopened, and I think all these past master classes have brought some curiosity into people, because, you need to also understand that we stopped doing marketing because you need to start to cut costs, and marketing is the first thing you do. So restaurant, boom, back busy again, super, super busy from day one, no staff, because, between Brexit and COVID, everyone left London. So it's been like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down, up and down, but we never give up. We always went for it. And after 2 years, after 1 year, then after COVID, I was like, we're doing another restaurant. And then I was like, what? I was like, I think we have to do another restaurant. And then,
So how did it go for the second one?
Second one was, a little bit more financial there. So it was, you're also more confident, you're also, people knows you. And we start to do, we did
the machine was working, so you knew you could apply the same concept.
Exactly. So we wanted to do a different restaurant, but because of all these things happen, it was like, let's play the safe kind of cards and let's do copy and paste. But all the street was too small to accommodate all our guests. So we had to do a little bit more bigger. So we did Fitzrovia, which is 86. Beautiful venue. which first 6 months did well. We opened in December 2022. Yeah, December 2022 up to May 2023 did amazing. And then, summer, the area just goes down caught us by surprise. We didn't know. So we had a terrible summer. We lost almost all the profit we made in the 6 months. So back on square one, how to make this work. It's always it's always something to do. But now we have so it's always back on his feet. We have Old Street back on his feet. So we're now thinking on a third one.
I mean, the restaurant I've been to, and honestly, yeah, what a satisfaction. Finding Italian food that tastes Italian, but
it's nice, isn't it?
Half and half, like miso carbonara. What's this?
Miso carbonara.
And it was so good. Yeah. No, everything is super tasty. I really love it. So it's called Officina 00.
Officina 00 for everybody. But
do you think you're gonna open a third one soon? Or you're working on that?
Yeah. I mean, we have to do the third one because, come si dice, non c'è due senza tre, no? So I think, we looking at not immediately, but if anything comes up that is interesting, I think we're gonna do it.
What's the? I don't want to spill your secrets, but what do you think? What was the best area now in London to have something with your concept? In your opinion?
I think, it's not my concept. I think the best area to do restaurant in London is Soho and Covent Garden.
Yeah.
It's you don't need to market your restaurant. They just walk into the door. It's also kind of risky because if it doesn't work well, so the high rent in there is killing you very, very easily. So it's a different. We market ourselves as a destination restaurant. We never market ourselves as a tourist spot. So that's why we've been always all street Fritzoria, those kind of areas that we kind of hidden as well. So you need to come to see us. But would it be nice to have a restaurant a little bit more footfall? And you get the numbers in the restaurant regardless. You market the restaurant, you don't market the restaurant, they just mean there. But that come with a price. So it's kind of strategy that you need to have in place
to work it out.
Yeah, and you also need the budget for it.
Because many times probably it's better to have something like that you grow with a reputation slowly.
Exactly.
So when you open the third one, fourth one, you already have a kind of a sense of community around you. Probably people keep recommending, I've got many clients, for example, that work in your area, Old Street area. And I said to them, you should try that one. They said to me every single time, yeah, but I live around here. So, to get there, it's pretty far. So how do we get to this? Oh, go to Fitzrovia. Oh yeah, but still far. So you need to open in West London.
I thought in Notting Hill in this area here, Portobello, food-wise is growing so much. It's a lot of nice restaurant coming to the area. So, you may going to see us. I don't know, but
I want to have my lunch. I have my lunch to do every day.
But it's a work in progress, so no rush on it. But we definitely need to do another one.
That's great. So it's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Nice
to have a chat with you. Yeah. And Enzo, I see you soon.
See you soon.
And I appreciate your presence here. Oh, this is a little thing. Grazie mille.
Grazie.
Always keep on going because you are your future.